Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Charles Fitz. In today's video, I'll be making a beautiful short dress with keyhole neckline. So guys, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, click on the bell icon to be notified anytime I upload a new video. Now I'll be using this English fabric for this tutorial, and I'm going to fold it into two. I'll go ahead and fold it into two. For this fabric, the length is 45 inches, so I'm working with the length. My fabric is on fold. So guys, the widest part of my measurement is 9.9 inches, and I'll go ahead and add 2 inches. So this folding is okay. So I'll go ahead and mark my shoulder measurement, which is 16 divided into 2 will give me 8 inches plus half an inch for the seam allowance. So it's 8.5 inches for my shoulder line, and my armhole length will be 9 inches. Is 9 inches. My bust point 11.5 inches. My waistline 17 inches. My hip measurement 23 inches. To get your hip from the waist, just mark 7 inches. You can use 7, you can use 8, but on a normal measurement, use 7 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark straight line across. Okay, I'll go ahead and mark the 8.5 inches here at the armhole length. So I'll go ahead and I'll put my shoulder slope 1 inch, neckline 3.5. Then I'll join this line to the shoulder slope. Mark the midpoint, which is 8 inches divided by 2. That is 4 inches. Come in by half an inch. Then use my curve ruler to join it to the armhole. My bust measurement is 37 divided into 4 will give me 9.2 inches. I'll go ahead and add extra 2 inches allowance. So this is my waistline. My waist measurement is 33 inches divided into 4 will give me 8.2 inches. I'll go ahead and add 2 inches seam allowance. Now my hip measurement is 39.5, but because I don't want it to be too fitted, I'll make it 40 inches. Divided into 4 will give me 10. I will mark 10 and I'll swear 2 inches allowance. Then at the downside, what I have here is 12 inches. I will just remove 1 inch from it and mark for the downside because I don't want it to be too curved. So I'll mark 11 inches for the down part. With my straight ruler, I'll go ahead and join the lines together. Then I'll go ahead and cut it out. Then I'll place it to cut the back pieces. Now the back will be having plinted slits. The slits will be plinted. It will not be open. So I extended the length. Normally I'm using 1.5 for the, I will mark 1.5 for the zip allowance. So for the slit length, I will mark 8 inches. This will be for the slit. Then from here, I will mark my 1.5 inches. I'll go ahead and mark 1.5 inches all through. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. Then from this point, I'll go ahead and cut out the zip side. Then I'll put a notch at this point. Then at this waist line, I have to slant it. I'll come in by half an inch at the waistline just to make sure it's not having any puff after sewing. So I slanted it from the back side from the waistline. I went in by half an inch in order to slant the zipper side to avoid puffing out after sewing. So you can see it's not straight. I curved it. For the neckline, from the front is 3.5. That is, the back will be having 5 inches. That is 3.5 plus 1.5 inches will give you 5 inches. Then the front, remember it's having a keyhole, so the front should not be. So I'm marking 3 by 2 inches both for the front and the back pieces. I'm cutting the same thing. That is 3 inches by 2 inches. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. So guys, I've actually cut out the front and back pieces. The next step will be the neckline, which I told you, keyhole neckline. So that's where we'll concentrate on this front side. So we have already cut out our neckline. I will go ahead and use my pattern paper to trace the neckline. Then we'll cut it out. So I'll place my front side on the pattern paper in order to trace the neckline. So I'll go ahead and trace it out with my marker. So I've traced out my neckline here. This is the front neckline. I've traced it out. The next thing I will do is to measure out the length of the keyhole where I want to place it. So I'll mark 3 inches. I'll mark 3 inches round the neckline, like so. So I'll go ahead and connect the lines. So I've connected the lines. I'll go ahead and cut it out. This is my neckline pattern now. So I will keep it aside and cut out another pieces. So I've cut out the neckline. This is the neckline. So I went ahead to cut another pieces for the pattern of the keyhole. So I will measure out 3 inches. This is the 3 inches. This is the 3 inches length that we've cut out. So from this point, I will come in by 1 inch here. Then I'll curve it around. With my curved ruler, the spacing of the pattern I will use is 1 inch. I'll take it from this point here, connect it to this one, then to this point. Place my pattern, draw it. I will mark the second one 1 inch. That's how I'll be marking it to the last edge. I will fold it into 2 again, then mark the pattern. Depending on how you want it. At this down part, I'll just measure 1/4 at the down part here. Then I'll connect it. You can see. So I'll go ahead and cut out this shape. So you can see the shape we are having. So at this point, I'll place it on my pattern here. We are having folded edge here as the midpoint. I'll go ahead and place it first to cut out this midpoint. Then I'll go ahead and open it up and mark other ones. This is for the center. Now from this point, I'll just mark 1 inch. I'll place it depending on how you want. If you want it 1 inch, if you want it half an inch, depending on how you want it. So I'll go ahead and mark 1 inch. I'll go to another point, mark 1 inch. Place my pattern. Go ahead and trace it. Then at this point, at this edge, I'll fold it again into 2. Make sure I'm having 1 inch as well. I'll go ahead and trace it out. But I've already marked it out. I'll go ahead and cut out these edges. Now before I cut it out, I'll go ahead and place it on my fabric first to make sure I'm having the right measurement. So I'll go ahead and place it on my neckline. You can see this is exactly what I'm having. You can see if I trace it, this is the neckline. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. I'll use my pin and secure it. Then from this, I'll use it and cut the. Now from this point, now I'll cut it out. We have actually cut out the neckline. So by the time I cut it out, this is how it looks. You can see. I'll go ahead and cut out my lining. When I'm cutting my lining, I'll trace it from the straight line. I'll just make this place straight because I'm going to sew through these edges straight. So I'll go ahead and cut out my lining for it. So guys, I've actually cut out the neckline. You can see I cut it straight. I cut out the normal neckline. After sewing, then I can open it up to get it right, because if you cut it, you may mix it. So the best thing is to cut out the neckline normal. While sewing, we sew through around these edges, then we can open it up. So guys, I've cut out the front neckline. The next thing is to place my dart measurement on my dress. Now for the darts, I already have my line here. I will mark. Now for the dart, I will mark my bust point, which is 11.5 inches, and my waistline 17 inches. Then from the 17 inches, I will measure 8 inches as my hip line. Altogether, I'm having it 13.5 inches. I'll take it across. Then I'll go ahead from my bust to bust is 7 inches. Divided into 2 will give me 3.5 plus half an inch, making it 4 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark 4 inches across the line. Now from this waistline, I'll minus half inch from the right side and half inch from the left side. Then from this point, I'll connect it to the bust point, then connect the hips point. I'll take it straight. So I'll go ahead and connect it. So guys, this is now our dart. Can see. So this is the dart. I will turn it over and do the same thing. But before I turn it with my lining, I'll first of all sew through this edge. So guys, we are done with the cutting stage. The next stage will be the sewing aspect. What I did here, I'll do the same thing to the two back pieces before I then turn it with my lining. So guys, thank you so much for watching. You will go ahead and turn it with your lining, sew your dress. If you like, you can attach your zipper, whether long or short zipper. I hope this video is helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell icon to be notified anytime I upload a new video. Give it a thumbs up, share to your friends, and bye until I see my next video. Bye.